Dawson continued his fight for the rights of black people, refusing to quit the movement. With this, he could no longer work in the college and be part of the debating team. Meanwhile, Mr. Farmer and Miss Book continued traveling to different places, debating with schools and colleges. After much delay and hesitation, Harvard reluctantly invited them to debate on their campus. The topic was, should black students and white students study with each other?
Negroes should be admitted to state universities.
Louder, we can't hear you.
My partner and I, Negroes should be admitted to state universities. My partner and I will prove that blocking a Negro's admission to a state university, it's not only wrong, it's absurd. And the Negro people are not just the color in the American fabric. They are the thread that holds that all together. May 13th.
This is rubbish. I'm going out.
I also want to go.
May 13th, 1865. Sergeant Crocker, a Negro, is the last soldier to die in the Civil War. In 1918, the first US soldiers decorated for bravery in France are Negroes Henry Johnson and Needham Roberts.
To force upon someone what they are not ready for would result in nothing but more racial hatred. Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois, he is perhaps the most eminent Negro scholar in all of America. He comments, "It is a silly waste of money, time, and temper to make a powerful majority to do what they are determined not to do." He also says, "It is impossible for a Negro to receive a proper education at a white college."
My opponent so conveniently chose to ignore the fact that W.E.B. Bois himself is the first Negro who ever received a PhD from a white college called Harvard. You see, Du Bois knows all too well the white man's resistance to change. He knows that they carry strong beliefs and hatred towards anything colored or black. But their hate is their problem, and it is no reason to keep a black person out of any college.
I do admit it. It is true. Far too many whites are afflicted with the disease of racial hatred. And because of racism, it is impossible to see how a Negro could be happy in a southern white college today. And if someone is unhappy, it is impossible for them to get a proper education. But yes, the time will come where both Negroes and whites could walk on the same campus, share the same classrooms. But sadly, that day is just not today.
As long as Negroes and whites are segregated, Negroes will receive an education that is both separate and unequal. That means better textbooks for that child than for that child. And I say that's a shame. But my opponent here says that today is not the day for Negroes and whites to go to the same college, to walk in the same campus, to study in the same classroom. Well, would you be so kind to tell me when that day is going to come? Is it going to come tomorrow, a month later, a year later, in 100 years? Never? No. The time for justice, the time for equality, and the time for freedom is always right now.
Wiley College went on to win the debate. Just 7 years later, in 1942, Mr. Farmer founded the Congress of Racial Equality and became a leader in the civil rights movements. Samantha Book became a lawyer and took the first freedom ride to Alabama. Mr. Tolson became a world-renowned poet. He continued his work with the Farmers Union. Though many years have passed, the world still faces struggles. Racism, inequality, poverty, and hunger remain. We hope this play sparks a little light in your heart and encourages you to stand up for change, to help create a kinder, more just world for all. Thank you.